Hello and welcome to Neverwinter Nights 2, and this will be part 55. If you think that there's something not quite right here, then it's because that is definitely the case. This part should have been part 58, but over the weekend I had the opportunity to slightly improve the state of my computer. I got some extra memory and a 2 terabyte SSD, which of course I was installing. Unfortunately, my E drive, because I had to make sure everything was organized properly inside the computer, it decided to die. Now, my E drive was my recording drive, and I usually try to be a full set ahead at least when doing this series. So I lost a total of 7 episodes that was pre-recorded. I didn't want to get to the point where I would suddenly jump 2.5 hours forward in the uh, continuation of the game. So the closest save game I could find was this. This was immediately after episode 55, 56, and 57. In part 54, we started chapter 2. And after that, the lost parts went and did some questing in Black Lake. Bumped into a vendor and bought some items. One of a handful of special vendors that is in the game. Got some very, very nice items available, but the prices are also appropriately high, and I didn't want to splash out too much. But I decided to get a few items. Then there was a little girl who was trying to get us to help her get her sister back because her sister had got involved with some sort of shadowy cult kind of thing. And we passed our way through a crypt in order to be confronted by the leader of this little cult thing who was worshipping the King of Shadows. And you can imagine that didn't go too well. After that, I decided to do a bit of crafting. I was thinking about definitely crafting a specific weapon, and looking a bit more into the concept of crafting in this game, I found out that it can potentially be incredibly broken. If your characters are set up for it, you can not craft all the good items in this game, but quite a few of them. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to retain some of the excitement from finding loot, and if you I want a +5 longsword, or +5 shield, +5 plate mail, and this and that and this, and then you go out and then you never need to pick up another item, it sort of ruins the experience. I will get to that momentarily though. In order to craft a adamantine, I call it adamantine, I may be mistaken, bastard sword, it required rank 23. 8 for being an exotic weapon, and 15 for using the material adamantine. Yeah, whatever. And of course, Kelgar, being the weaponsmith in the party, didn't have that rank, but using the headband of Internet gave him 1 skill point. Using the gloves of the artificer gave him another 3 skill points, and then it dawned on me that Grobnar has a little song called Inspire Competence, which gives a flat 4 +4 to all skill checks, which gave Kelgar 23 in weapon crafting, which is perfectly was perfect, even because there was just the rank I needed for him to craft an adamantine bastard sword. Now I also gave Sam the trait feat called Craft Magical Weapons and Armor because I wanted to have the weapon enchanted. And due to what I just said about crafting, I didn't want to go overboard. So what I've done is I have crafted this little adamantine bastard sword +3. Technically you can go up to +5, but you would require cast level 15 for that. But also, as I said, I don't want to rule out loot in the game. So I decided to just settle for that. I would love to get a +3 enchant on the Misfall full plate, but again, it's a nice enchant level, but not to the point where the crafted item is irreplaceable. As you can probably see, there's a few things quite different with the interface. I got a bit bored with the fact that I couldn't see the buffs on the different characters, so I mentioned this many episodes ago that I was potentially tempted to try this out. And what I did was I have installed a mod that will increase the font size and resize certain of these panels, or not certain, all of them actually. Because if you play this game as a higher resolution, by default the game doesn't scale, which means that you get a font which is virtually impossible to read. Everything becomes incredibly small. And I am now recording in 1920 by 1080. It will likely still be rendered in 720p, but that's just the way it works. So you can see that the different panels, panes and whatnot are going to be slightly different looking. The fortunate thing about having that mishap with my driver dying is the fact that I can make a single set. And then if anyone have any feedback about the change in resolution and that kind of stuff, then I can always change it back. It's just deleting the mod files. It's basically just XML files that needs to be deleted, and then lower the in-game resolution again, and everything is back to normal. The items I bought bought a Girdle of Frost Giant Strength, which gives +4 strength. I bought a Greater Magic Bag, which reduces the weight of its content by 80%, which is always nice. And I don't think I equipped it.
Everyone, follow me!
I got this little thing for our bard friend. +15 hit points, +2 concentration, and +4 perform. You'll likely like that little thing. So, oh, the game's paused. He will not swap equipment while the game's paused. So, we also have a few items we need to get identified, but in order to do that, I need to get hold of Cassavir. You know what? It can wait. It doesn't have to be right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of catching up. So, there is a quest available from the city guards, or the city watch, I should say, and we need to get something done with Nishka's quest. So, let's head outside, form a little party of. We don't need Kalgar. Let's get Nishka. Should we throw Governor away for Eleni? No, we got Sam. Let's just have this party. Accept. Of course, Niska can level up. Sorry for spending that time for the introduction thing, but I just felt it was necessary to bring people up to date. So, unfortunately, when I lost my hard drive, I not only lost quite a few recordings that I had already prepared, always trying to stay ahead of what I'm doing, but there was also a project uh, which was sorting through several thousand files, which I was 2/3 done doing, that disappeared in the process, which is always nice. What the project was is not super important, but the important thing is I spent an awful lot of time working on it, and that project is now cancelled indefinitely. Yeah. Computer technology and technology in general is nice when it works, but when it doesn't work anymore, it's a pain in the backside. Anyway, we need to go in and speak to Captain Burney now. So she's happy to see us again, and apparently she has this rumor about someone trying to buy some equipment of unsavory nature to use against the say watching other individuals. And we are supposed to be masquerading as being a noble lady who's trying to sell stuff. So we got that quest. We can actually just head to the closest exit, which is this one here, and go into Black Lake, because that's where it takes place. As I've said, not non-spoken dialogue I will give summaries of, unless it is incredibly relevant for the story. This quest is not relevant for the story, it's just a bit of extra experience to gain. Another thing to mention before we get started, which is of some importance, because to be honest I can't remember whether I leveled up during part 55, 56 and 57, but if you haven't seen it, you got heal now. So of course it's a very nice spell, it heals 150 hit points. And because of the higher resolution, I can throw bars next to each other without it looking clunky. So, yeah. Anyway, no, I don't want to speak to you. Go away. You are likely a hero, and I'm happy about that. There should be an empty state right around here. Now, this quest involves using bluff and perform. Oh, it's this building here. And too close for comfort. I was nearly scared the living daylights out of me. Oh, that was funny. Anyway, we are not a bard for some bizarre reason, and of course, because of the flirt, we have penalties to bluffing. No one will take this character serious because she's a bit flirtish. So bluffing and performing is not going to work. So we will have to find another way to see if we can make things work. Basically, just we are this noble trying to sell some stuff. You Ganesh, who are you? By the way, it was said that we need to have the exchange of money happening before we can perform the rest. That's the only way we will have evidence to convict them. So he just goes through a lot of different options, and basically we have to try and gain their trust in order to have a solid case, because if we do not gain their trust, then they will break off earlier and a fight will ensue. So let's just go through this. Some of the goods. Blah, blah, blah. Do we have a deal or not? We do. just success. This 300 experience points we would not get if we didn't get the success in trust. So, we got what we need. Arrest these men. She's afraid, boys. Let him have it. Sure thing. So, as per usual, we are told that whatever we gain, we can keep. What is it? I want to make absolutely sure I knew where these balls were. This is basically a protection from evil 10-foot radius. It does the same. Any allies within 10 feet will be affected from protection from evil, but it won't have that incredibly large bubble. So let us do some divine power and then battle side. And hope they're not dead before we're done here. Oh, buffing. Should I see if I can... I should probably nice, shouldn't I? Oh, that heal, I should probably use it. Oh, she's fighting apparently. Did I pick up that... Virtue? No, sorry, that's a... Remove fear. That should do it. See, one of those useless spells you pick up, and then it turns out to be potentially very powerful. So, job's done. Just need to wait for that buff circle to disappear. Loot the stuff given here. Some shurikens, why not? Dagger, scroll. Some random things. Come on. Now I just want the buff to stop being active. Cool. Some more shurikens. Like cookie, hooray. So, we got a bit vendor loot here. Okay, oh, there we are. Glad to be alive after that. You should tell Berlin what happened. Oh, cool. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Let's just check our inventory quickly. Because of course we got our bard with us, and the bards usually have an incredibly high lore skill. So you go and identify these.
I am trying to move, but I think I've gained too much weight to do so. Oh, yes.
Should stop whining. Greater cloak protection versus law. That sounds like an excellent idea. Roguelings. Why not? Hide +6, move silently +6 for rogues. We actually got a rogue with us for a change. I have neglected her.
How can I help?
You can equip this armor thing. Armor class 23. Not bad, not bad at all. And then you can lightly give this to this character so she can render it eventually. You're still overweight? No, you're not. Cool. So, next up is going to be resting. And time checking. So, next part will be to do or start Nishka's quest, which is to up the collector. would be nice if it found a better angle for that kind of stuff. Anyway, here's the collector's mansion. The quick thing that I dealt with was over here. So, that's one thing I have to stop saying all the time. So, I think we missed that out on the thingy magic. There was this artist thing here who was basically painting a well-proportioned woman when Chandra came past, and he wanted to paint her likeness. And we bought the painting of him for 500 gold, which was more than he asked, and gave it to Chandra. She liked us a lot for that. Even though we are technically going to rob this place blind, there's no repercussions for doing so, which I find interesting. I will start it, but I will likely not complete it in this part. But anyway, we got the Shnizka. Go on, bust open the door using lockpickery skills. And you know, just a minor coincidence kind of thing. I keep forgetting. Protection from evil. Remember, it is a protection against a certain alignment. If that alignment is not, if you're not finding something of that alignment, you will not get the benefits. But there are some guards. For some bizarre reason, they don't like us breaking in. I wonder why. Okay, I don't like having stout men trying to punch the living daylights out of me. Can you, hope you can get this ball. Nope. See, I didn't manage to get that off. Oh. That was naughty. This is Blade Barrier. He cast it on himself, which makes him immobile, but also means that you can see these spinning blades here.
That's it for me. Sorry.
Don't tell me we're getting mauled by these bodyguards.
Feel the fury!
What the hell are you doing?
I suppose I could say something about a Luskin-bred dog or a house tower thrall, but really it's not polite to say.
Can we, try and get out of combat, please? Thank you. And we can, go outside. Because we can't rest inside, and after that little experience, we probably need to recover. Lovely. This is why you don't want as a favorite soul to be the frontliner, because you draw all the attention, and before you got your boss up, you are not prepared for that kind of attention. But we are done with this part, so when we come back, we are going to go back in and deal with whatever is left to deal with in there. Then return to Captain Bolena to be told how heroically, epic we are, and then head towards Port Last in order to try and prove our innocence in having slaughtered Ember, which we were accused of. For now, thanks for watching, take care, see you next time, bye bye.